Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com, and today I am back with another set of pages in my October Fall Traveler's Notebook. And although I'm not doing an October daily, this is heavily inspired by all of those who do beautiful October dailies right now over on Instagram and YouTube. So much creative work out there that is so inspiring. But I thought I would do something to sort of capture what is Florida fall for me, which isn't necessarily leaves changing color or anything crazy, but it is special moments in this time of year. So for today's layout, I am doing some photos of the beautiful sunrises I can see from my apartment, and I absolutely love these photos. I printed one as a 3x4 and one as a 4x6, and it's funny that, something so simple as a sunrise can be so meaningful for a season, and I think we often try to capture things so repetitively, but there's different ways you can capture these types of moments. Like in the first picture on the top there, I framed it via the window. The second time it's just a full-fledged framed by trees. So just some happy times captured, and now going to be in my fall traveler's notebook. But for this page, I knew I wanted to do a bit of stamping, so I had several ones picked out already that I knew I probably wanted to stamp here, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of the page. So I started by doing a layer beneath my 3x4 photo, which is just a Target pattern paper. They did some 6x6 paper pads in the dollar spot a few years ago, and I still have those to use. So that's the color scheme I'm working with. And then I threw in one of those old Project Life Instax tabs. I just really liked that shimmery copper color to help bring in some of the sunset's goldenness. And then I just start flipping through my binders of die cuts to find something. I don't have a ton of fall ephemera, but I do have stuff that can work. So I pull out that little hello tab, and then I have a little similar copper foil piece in the top right there. It's just another label in case I want to have a journaling spot instead of journaling on the back side. And then we dive right into stamping. This is an Ellie Studio alphabet stamp set I've had for quite some time and have neglected to use. It's been almost a year since I probably got it, and it's about time it finally got some ink on it. So I ended up testing out a bunch of colors to see what combination I wanted for my title. And as I mentioned in the title of this video, this is going to be titled October Sunrise, which I end up using these two colors because they are so pretty together. The Distress Oxide Wild Honey, then the Lawn Fawn Chili Pepper one, which again, so pretty. And these colors are sort of combined well with the 6x6 paper I matted my photo on, but I didn't want my title to float in the air, so I end up creating a shelf for it on the left-hand side there. And I start looking through my washi tapes because I have a lot of washi tape, and I end up picking out this one here that is gray with blue checks on it because there is blue in the pattern paper, and the gray just adds a bit more contrast, which I think I do enjoy. And then a little strip of my washi that is a ruler style, which I love my ruler style washi. I almost wish I had it in other colors, but I really like the white one that I used here, just for a little bit of texture and fun. And something about rulers remind me of fall. Maybe it's the school association or something, but sort of fun to have that there too. So here I start assembling my title, and I stamp it in a couple different sets because I don't want to mess it up, especially when you're stamping directly on the background of something like a traveler's notebook. And if you are using something like a cheaper traveler's notebook or something that's not meant for inking or mixed media, make sure you put a filler in between. So on this side, I already have pattern paper on the other side, so I don't have to worry about it leaking through, but make sure you always have a sort of filler piece behind there so it catches any bleed through or any mistakes that might happen, any spillages. So always make sure you have that ready to go. And then for the second word of my title for October, the first word, I end up using that chili pepper color because it is a gorgeous red shade. And I always find reds hard to use because if it's not true red, it always seems off. But since there is a burgundy red color in the pattern paper I chose, it works out really well that I don't have to worry about it too much because it will match because the deep tone's already in the background here. So once I get those in place, I feel comfortable stamping that top piece. And again, doing it in sections, I start on the right-hand side and move outward. That way I know I have enough room to stamp. And I do make a little oopsie here by not stamping a full O and just end up going back and restamping. And it works perfectly and doesn't look anything different. And if I didn't include it, none of you would be the wiser. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. There's always ways to fix it, to cover it up, to do something with it that you'll love. Now for the bottom here, I really struggled for how I wanted to make this work, and I didn't really have a plan, but then something struck me that would be super fun to do, and I think I might start doing a lot more often, and let me know if you guys want a full tutorial on this. And I end up calling it a stamp stack. And once I inked this stamp up for the top part here, which I'm using the antique linen oxide ink, very beautiful and light, I end up thinking, why don't I just use the rest of the stamps from this lovely Kelly Perky Hero Art stamp set that is called Early Bird. It's an oldie but a goodie, and I've never used it despite having it for a very long time. So I end up pulling out a bunch of the pieces here and just layering them together to create what I call a stamp stack. But similarly, you could do color blocking. It could be called anything, but I thought a stamp stack was a cute idea. And I end up pulling out all of those colors. So I have the Wild Honey Distress Oxide, the Spiced Marmalade Oxide, and then the Lawn Fawn Chili Pepper, and those are the ones I end up going with. So I end up just testing out the colors on some of the stamps to make sure they would stamp okay, and always have a scratch sheet of paper next to you just so you have it ready to go. And I end up stamping them all in a variety of colors, which I think it creates this nice sort of full view of like sunset colors. I could have included like blues or purples if I wanted to go all out, but since I had such limited space, I thought limiting it to 3 or 4 colors would be good. So I do go in with all of them. Some say early bird, one said AM, but I actually substitute that out for an alarm clock instead. So just making it work for you is the most important. And yes, I do repeat the same stamp from the top side to the bottom side, which some people might think is too repetitive, but I really like the way it turned out, and that's all that really matters. So here's where I substitute that piece out and start going for the verticals. Don't be afraid to turn your stamps sideways, diagonal, upside down even. If they're an icon or something, you don't have to be afraid to use your stamps in unique ways. And I think it's really empowering when something turns out like I enjoyed this turning out. So definitely pull out some stamps sometime soon and have some fun with them. And this is a great way to put some dent into your stamp usage. If you feel like you're not using enough, make them a statement piece like this. And it's a great way to fill up a traveler's notebook page without it being bulky or overwhelming. And again, a ton of fun. And always make sure you have scrap paper beneath your pages so nothing transfers to the other side, and you'll be good to go. Then I just glued my photo into place and added the journaling tab, which again has that copper foil to match the top there. And then I ended up wanting to add a little bit more washi tape just to have some more cohesiveness. So I grabbed that and tuck it under the bottom left. And of course wanted a little bit more of the antique linen, so I ended up grabbing the stamp here, which is a wood stamp that I have that's just dots, and stamping it on a few pieces of the top section here. Just to add a little bit more movement and flair. But I hope you guys enjoyed this process video. Let me know what you think of this Traveler's Notebook spread in the comments down below. I had a ton of fun stamping in it, and I hope you guys did too. We ended up using 3 different stamp sets and a bunch of different stamps, obviously, with the title and the stamp stack and all of the fun stuff in between. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are interested to get more behind the scenes videos like this project early, check out my Patreon, which will be linked down below. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.